Happy Halloween! I am here to recommend some books from the greatest in horror, and he made Maine scary. I mean, that and the fact that Maine doesn't fund public defenders. That's right, I'm doing Stephen King, and I recommend some similar books to his best works right here. Best works as voted by the internet. Let's go! I'm going to start with The Stand, of course. Everyone says it's his best, so I'm going to recommend Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. This just came out a couple years ago. It's about a group of children that start sleepwalking and won't stop, won't wake, and won't respond. But the disease isn't as bad as the fear it inspires. Next up, I'm going to recommend, for Carrie, I'm going to recommend We Were Animals by Joshua Gaylord. This is about teenagers in a community that go wild when they strike puberty, but one girl is determined to stay normal. So I guess it's kind of like an opposite Carrie. For The Shining, one of my favorites is Amakatsu's The Hunger. This follows the Donner Party's trip west, but it has a darker twist kind of thrown in. For, this one's heavy, It, I recommend the much skinnier Phantoms by Dean Koontz. It's a little older book. This is about an entire town that disappears off the map. The military investigates only to find a creature with an insatiable hunger. Next up, I have Pet Sematary. And for that, I recommend The Winter People. Now, this is about Ruthie, who wakes up to find her mom missing in a town that is famous for mysterious disappearances. Next up, there is 11/22/63. And for that, I recommend The Shining Girls by Lauren Bukes. This is a man finds a house that opens to other time periods, but for him to continue on, he has to kill. However, one of his victims turns the tables on him, and they travel through time. For Salem's Lot, I have The Passage by Justin Cronin. This is a trilogy and also a TV show. It's a slow-burning twist, a classic vampire tale. For Misery, I have The Hole by, I'm going to mispronounce it, Ha-Young Pyun. I'm not sure. And this it is about a man who crashes his car, leaving him paralyzed and killing his wife. But he's taken care of by his wife's mother, who keeps digging a mysterious hole in the backyard. Yeah, I think we all know where that's going. Next up, the Dark Tower series. I'm not quite sure. There's a lot in the Dark Tower series, so I'm not sure what you liked about it. I'm going to go with Silver on the Road. This is about Isabel, who makes a deal with the devil to work in his territory west of the Mississippi. Now, it's a hard genre. I would look up weird Western fantasy. That's what the Dark Tower series created. And you can Google and kind of mess around and see which ones you like there. Next up, I have The Dead Zone, that one TV show with that guy from The Breakfast Club. And he has the First Prophet trilogy by Kay Hooper. That's one of my favorites. Is the FBI has a team of psychics that a secret cabal is trying to blind or destroy. Next up, I have Cujo. And I recommend The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. This is about 4 friends who killed an elk and they promised to use up all its meat. They didn't. So now the elk's spirit is loose and it's killing them all. It's a lot more literary than it sounds. Next up, I have The Green Mile. For this, I recommend The Enchanted by Renee Denfield. This is about an amateur investigator who tries to save death row inmates before they're killed, and one inmate who consents more than the others. Next up, I have Geralds Game, and I recommend, I'm going to mispronounce it again, Kanai Minato. It's called Confessions, and this is translated from Japanese. A teacher's child is killed, and she exacts revenge on her students by spilling their secrets until they turn on each other. It sounds so good. Next up is Tommyknockers, the book that even Stephen King said he wrote too many words for. And I recommend Annihilation. This is a lot different than the movie. It's by Jeff Vandermeer. And it's a woman joins the 12th expedition into a strange territory that refuses to be mapped. And last but not least, Christine. I figure why not? Some people like cars that kill people. I recommend Nosferatu. This is about a man who kidnaps children, consumes their souls through his car, and drops the evil husk left behind in an imagined paradise called Christmas Land. Weirdest concept, coolest novel, better than the TV show, I have to say. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. You can check out this and other videos on our YouTube channel. Have a happy Halloween and a scary one.